talking trash, better back it up. I'ma make my money while they laugh at us.
We do the intro for once.
You want to do it?
What's up, guys? You're tuned into Inventing Entrepreneurs, where
I got it.
I don't know the tagline.
What is going on, guys? You're tuning into Inventing Entrepreneurs, a show where we highlight emerging entrepreneurs and how they're inventing their vision of success. I'm your host, Brian Bischoff, joined by my co-host, John Kappel.
Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Today, we have our third entrepreneur on the show?
Number 3.
Alex. He's a Bitcoin entrepreneur / consultant. What's going on, Alex?
Welcome.
Chilling, investing in Bitcoin, doing pretty good.
So what do you mainly do right now? Is it Bitcoin?
No, actually I'm in 70% of my portfolio is in Neo.
Neo. Is that a crypto?
I've not heard of that one.
They call it Chinese Ethereum.
Okay.
Why?
And Ethereum's kind of on the rise here,
Yeah, Ethereum's, I think Ethereum's got the second market cap right now. Yeah, it does.
Why?
Ripple overtook it for a little while, but
I almost went into Ripple.
I'm pretty sure Ethereum.
There's all just a bunch of names, you hear them a little bit and one comes out and you hear about it and everybody invests in it. But Bitcoin's the number one, right? You'd say Bitcoin's the biggest.
Yeah.
If you could list the top 5, what do you think they'd be? And kind of, you can do it by how much they're running for right now, or your own popularity.
The top 5. Bitcoin,
Ethereum, yep.
Bitcoin Cash is doing pretty good.
I gotta touch on that because I have no idea what Bitcoin Cash is. I've only seen it on my portfolio.
Yeah, it's basically just a fork to Bitcoin, and it happened back in August. I actually owned some of them. I had some Bitcoin at the time. So if you owned any Bitcoin, you basically got an equal percentage of Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, which is cool. And so what Bitcoin Cash does is tries to solve the problems that are happening to the Bitcoin network right now. And so what's happening to the Bitcoin network is transactions are costing a lot more than they should. And transactions are taking a lot longer to go through. So
I've noticed that because when I try to go from Coinbase to Binance, it took literally like a day and a half.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
because I wanted to buy a coin that my buddy recommended, and I had to wait a day and a half, and the coin price went up by the time I actually got in.
That stinks.
And
I
I
actually
lost
had a
so
notice
much on
on that.
it.
I use Coinbase as my what's the term? The wallet?
Well, it's not really a wallet because it's on the exchange.
Okay.
So you don't own your private key.
Right. Okay.
And you have to pull it off the exchange and hold it into a wallet so you can own your private key.
Okay.
And that's what's important is owning your private key because technically, like,
Got you, bro.
technically the exchange kind of like has your private key. So that's kind of a problem with my Neo right now is I have it on Bittrex and Neo pays it's like almost like a proof of stake model kind of where they pay out gas and it kind of acts as a dividend, but I don't want to call it a dividend because if it's a dividend, it falls into U.S. security laws, and then that's a whole another problem.
Right. No, it isn't. They're not trying to deal with that.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. But so Bittrex, because Bittrex holds your private keys for Neo, they're not obligated to give you the gas production that comes from your Neo.
So Bittrex, that's like,
Bittrex.
Is that an exchange or a wallet?
That's
or
exchange.
What is it? An exchange. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can use that to buy and sell.
So
and stuff like that.
cryptocurrency is just like, it's a form of money. Like, what's your best way to describe it?
That's a good question. I feel like a lot of people
Because
don't really
I don't know.
understand.
I honestly have no
they just
idea.
See some digital thing.
Well, no, they just hear it on the news. Everyone invests in Bitcoin. It's doing hot. Everyone's making money. Invest. So
cryptocurrency. So the way I would describe it is that there's half technology and half commodity, and so half commodity, half technology. So it's like taking like gold and taking the .com technology bubble and combining them because Bitcoin's more like a gold commodity. It acts more like a price thing, where Ethereum acts more like a company, kind of like where it's more of a technology, not so much a company, but more of a technology. And, and that's what makes it valuable.
That kind of backs it a little bit more. That it has processes and stuff.
It gives it more credibility. And I think that's why it's really catching on so much is because at the end of the day, like, it's not just the speculative thing of like monetary value where really
It's only what people want it. That's what it's worth. It's not that.
That's kind of how like it would be if it was more of a commodity, but because it's more of a technology,
Right.
and you're investing in technology, you know, it can reach unparalleled levels. Like the dot-com bubble at its peak was $7 trillion, you know, and we're at our peak so far, we've hit 850 billion. And at gold's peak right now, or at gold's, not peak, at gold's current market value or market cap, it's at 7 trillion. So now you're taking two markets, and you know, if you combine them like that, it's 14 trillion of potential growth. And you know, and that's not even, I don't even think that really grasps how high this could go.
Yeah.
Nice. So
Eventually.
you think we're nowhere even close?
I don't
Even
think
though we've kind of seen it plateau. If anybody's looking like keeps track
It seems
of
like it went up.
cryptocurrency.
plateau
dropped
for a
down.
month.
Yeah.
Oh, so it hasn't jumped another 100% every week.
I think that's what everybody's
well,
looking
it was
for,
for a
you
while.
know?
It was jumping so fast. And
Exactly.
All of a sudden it's like dead.
I think people
so
expected
I
that.
feel
I
like
mean,
people are
including
holding
myself, you
back.
know, I was kind of like saw this, kind of was hesitant to invest in it. And then realizing, oh wow, this is jumping a lot. Now let me get into it.
and that's what happens. The hype
And then it
is
kinda
there.
slows
And I
down.
feel like by the time you hear the name, if you're not in it every day and it's not a full-time job, by the time you hear a name, it's too late. Don't invest.
Right.
Because
Well-
with me, every time I invest in something, when I hear the name and I'm not doing it every day, I lost every time.
So
which is every single time because I don't do it every day.
Don't invest on the if
On the hype.
you've seen something go up 2, 3x, 4x, you know, potential is it might still go up a bit,
Right.
but it's not worth the risk. You want to find something that's kind of retraced about 60%, 70%. It's kind of going sideways, and the
Okay.
volume is starting to pick up.
Right,
And those
okay.
are telltale signs that you want to get it. And then if you hear the name kind of about it, like a little
Usually everyone gets in and that's when it drives the price up and that's when you usually sell. Right?
bit. Exactly, on the way up.
So when it peaked out, I think it was at like almost 19, right? Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Were you in Bitcoin? Did you sell? Did you hold?
I actually really wasn't in Bitcoin. I didn't really have that many, which is something that I want to change for my portfolio a lot. So I went to a Bitcoin conference this past weekend in Miami.
Nice.
It was pretty awesome.
That sounds cool.
How many people go
Yeah,
there?
was
Like I
gonna
feel like
ask, right?
because it's a new industry, so I wonder.
It was actually about 5,000 people, I believe.
Wow.
That's what they were saying. It was
They had to rent out 2 Marriotts.
it was huge. Man. I'll tell you, it was the happiest conference I've ever been to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Everybody's rich.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a crap, and they all know Bitcoin's still like gonna go to the moon.
Right.
Wow.
Well, that's good. That put some confidence in me that I didn't make a bad decision buying it at a very high
Yeah, no,
price.
don't like. It's just a normal correction. You know,
Right. That's what people are saying.
Yeah, 60% to normal correction. Like it's finding really good support right now. Anything below 10 grand, it doesn't stay below 10 grand long. And
Right.
there's actually in the order books, there's the same amount of buys between 7,000 and 9,000 as there is from 11,000 to 20,000 for sells.
Okay.
So we're actually looking at like our group. We run this one group called Blockchain Dads.
Okay.
Yeah, so blockchain dads and moms. And
Funny name. I like that.
yeah, right. And so we're actually maxed out. We have to switch to Telegram or Discord. We're on Facebook Messenger. It's terrible. With 250 people, we maxed out. But
Yeah, I imagine
Well,
that being hard.
I bet.
yeah, everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
But we our next predictions is Bitcoin's going to 30 grand.
Hope so.
Wow.
Yeah, in the next I think it'll go to 30 in the next month, 2 months. It might hover around 10 to 20, but you know, when you really break it down and you think about it, there's only 17 million Bitcoin available right now. There's only ever going to be 21 million.
Right.
You know, and of those 17 million that are available, like 10-20% of them are lost. I don't know what they say officially, but I know there's a million right off the bat that are just gone. Satoshi Nakamoto,
Yeah.
the guy who
Invented it.
invented
whatever.
Bitcoin,
Right.
whatever, who the anonymous figure, and that's why people really
There's a
like
group of people hidden in China somewhere.
There's a whole
Everybody
conspiracy.
would see like Walking Dead when every single person is Negan. That's kind of like what Bitcoin is.
The guy that started the Silk Road, isn't that the same guy that started Bitcoin, or did I hear that wrong?
No.
Different, but I know Bitcoin was used to like launder money through.
Yeah, that's where it
the
kind
Silk
of
Road.
like got like actual valuation.
Do you remember that when Silk Road was like getting busted probably in like 2013, 2014? Remember hearing on the news when people were selling like RPG grenade launchers, drugs?
I do remember that.
And Bitcoin was like the main currency, and that's when I first heard about it. And then I didn't hear about it until like maybe the last 6 months to a year. I haven't heard about it.
It was really
since.
sketchy. Like in the beginning, I remember hearing like it was just nobody has any regulations on it. It's just there, you know. And
I tried buying some stuff, but it was shut down before I could.
I'm just trying buying.
Just kidding. I had to get my fix.
the deep web.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know how to get there.
So let's talk money. Like,
no, you've never been.
Nah, dude.
You've never been on Silk Road.
What's the website?
Well, you gotta download a Tor browser. You gotta download. It's called the Onion, and then you can get on the dark web.
All right, we're gonna save that for a future episode.
yeah,
It's cool.
yeah. Next time, so that way anyone that's listening that wants to do some drugs, we got you.
Some dark
No.
Just kidding.
You can murder people too. No.
Right.
Yeah, murder for hire.
All right, let's stay off the dark web. It sounds reckless.
So let's talk money. I want to hear what's your return on investment on Bitcoin. Like, how much have you made? How much have you invested?
How much I made? I can't. I won't go into how much I made, but my current portfolio is about.
What you invested?
That's
That's
awesome.
good.
Yeah. Like I was a little bit higher. I was about.
Are you gonna? Can you
Maybe
give?
almost.
Can you give like a rough number, like 2 figures, 6 figure? Or is that something you want to share? No.
No.
Okay.
On the low.
I figured that.
That's
Well, I heard
30x is still good enough, you know.
I heard you're doing
You put
really
in
well. So
$100. It's,
Yeah, I mean,
money.
you know, I got in April, so I got in at Bitcoin at 1,000, which you know,
nice.
at the time of buying, I was kind of like,
Why not?
why not? I mean, I guess like.
Yeah,
Hopefully it
sounds
goes
cool.
up.
Right.
Hopefully it goes up $1,000, $2,000 in the next year.
and then it skyrockets.
Right. Then you make
months
$1,000. You're like, oh yeah, I made $1,000. It's awesome.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
but 30 times.
I remember Jake got in at $8,000, and I was like, "You're fucking stupid for doing that." And then like all of a sudden it goes to 19. I'm like,
I think that's
I'm
what
sorry for what I
think that's
said,
what everybody
man. Like,
thought. You know, like, everybody saw it jump up so fast. They're like, oh yeah, it's at $8,000.
Yeah.
I'm not investing. It's already too high.
exactly.
You
That's
know?
what I would think. Same with
Right.
19.
There's all the memes about like joking. When's the best time to get in?
You missed it.
No,
You miss-
now.
Right.
Because it is. It's like one of the, even if you
You
buy,
never know, man. It's
even
such
if
a
you
gamble,
buy
though.
it at 19,000, you know, sure you have to live through this damn correction, but if you live through the correction, it's gonna go to 30. You still made 50% on your money, and I bet it goes to 30 in the next, like I said, 2 months.
Yeah.
Minimum, like, you know, it's conservative because it could just. Like supposedly, I'm from reading and watching YouTube. There's about $1 trillion sitting on the sidelines from Wall Street, waiting to be jumped into this. Like, and I mean, it's jumping in.
All right,
but-
jump in now, ladies and gentlemen.
No, really, buy the dips. They say buy the dips. This is a dip. Buy the dip. You know,
Yeah.
you might never see $10,000 Bitcoin again.
That's all
Yeah.
stocks. You know,
and you
yeah.
might never see 10,000 in a bad way. You might see it go down. You might see it go up.
No,
But
no.
you're predicting it's going to go up. You have good supporting
Well,
evidence
it's
behind
just-
it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like you think about it, like in terms of market cap, $220 billion market cap is nothing.
Yeah.
Like it really isn't. That's what I think. That's what Bitcoin's hovering at
So
right
the
now.
internet is 7 trillion. You know, talking trillions of dollars. You know, that's nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're talking people who have just so much money, and so here's the thing is because one Bitcoin's what 10,000. There's only 16 million available. You know, all it takes is 16 million people to buy one Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right.
They're
Exactly.
all
Yeah, you're
fucking
right.
gone.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like well, why the
You can get
You know, it
those
will never
Facebook
drop
twins
too
coming to buy
much.
them all.
I feel like it would never drop at this point.
yeah, dude, it can't
Because too many people see a low price and they'll drop.
exactly.
They'll
They
bump
see-
in.
like, and then it comes to the realization that you know the market cap really is that small, and there is only 16, 17 million available.
Right.
So, you know, for it to go all the way to the moon
Yeah.
is not that like you know far fetched. And,
Right.
and it doesn't take for it to go another 200 billion. It doesn't take $200 billion to push it $200 billion.
Mm-hmm.
All it takes is like 10% of that or 20% of that of buying power, because it's the market valuation is not on how much money flows into it, but on how much money, how much they're actually willing to sell it for.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what? What do you see yourself doing long term with this? Like, obviously, you're gonna make a career out of it, almost, right?
Hold on for dear life. No,
I love that term, by the way.
What is this?
Hodling?
hodling.
Hodling?
Hold on for dear life.
What's the acronym? H-O...
DL.
Yeah, H-O-D-L.
I was thinking about starting an investment firm.
Called Hodl.
Just hodl.
H.O.D. or .D.L. And then it would be investment firm. And then
Buy it now before people hear it on this.
right? I know. Shit.
That's awesome.
Blackmail you. Hey, man, I know you wanted to start this, but...
Yeah, no, I don't want to invest in people's money, though. I'm making too good of money myself, and I don't want that responsibility.
Right.
And,
So, are you keeping...
I'd rather invest in my own companies.
Are you keeping... I want to go more into your companies after this, but are you keeping most of your money in cash or most of your money in the cryptocurrencies?
In cryptos, yeah.
Is everything in? Are you all in on it? Or are you like 90% in?
I mean, in terms of my... I started...
I mean, you can't pay rent with cryptocurrency yet. So there's got to be some
you can buy
type
stuff
of
on
cash.
Craigslist. There's an option right now.
I saw that. That's
Accepts on
new,
Craigslist.
right.
Did you see it?
No.
If you go on
Craigslist is accepting
Craigslist and you post
yeah.
like a posting, or you can search, you can filter by accepts Bitcoin.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
On
You can just
Craigslist.
transfer Bitcoin.
I
for
would never sell my Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I made a mistake. I bought neurotropics. They're like brain food.
Right, yeah.
Choline and stuff.
With cryptocurrency?
Yeah, I bought it with Litecoin when Litecoin was like $60. 2 weeks later, Litecoin goes to $300.
Right.
You kick
Ah, the
yourself
good old
in the
days.
Yeah, I lost like $500.
So would you say you keep most of your stuff in crypto then?
In terms of
For now?
monetary, like it wasn't in the first, but I've made so much money.
Right.
It makes more sense to keep it in and try to grow it more, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. And I see it growing to such a high extent right now that I see it growing minimum to a $7 trillion market cap in terms of all the crypto spheres. So that's from its peak now. That's like 8-9x for the whole sphere.
Yeah.
Right? And then I see Bitcoin. We honestly see Bitcoin. Hitting maybe a $7 trillion market cap itself.
Right.
So that means that on top of all the shit coins.
Shitcoins. Wait, go into shitcoins. What's shitcoin?
What is a shit
Everything
coin?
other than a Bitcoin.
All right. Okay. Cool.
That's one thing I learned from the Bitcoin conference was a lot of these OGs, they keep 50 to 70% of their portfolio in Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Because so the way it works is if you buy, say, Neo and Satoshi is everything to the right of the dot. So everything to the left is one Bitcoin.
Okay.
Like 0.001 is a Satoshi.
Satoshi. All right.
0.01 is a Satoshi. And so if you buy Neo at point, I'm just making these up just for mathematical purposes. Say you buy Neo at 0.1 and Bitcoin's value doubles and Neo stays the same US dollar value. That means it would have to go down to 0.05 Satoshi to stay the same US dollar value. But if it stayed at 0.1 Satoshi, that means it would also acquire the same gains from Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin doubles, because it's worth 0.1 of a Bitcoin, it follows the same
Interesting.
value.
So it's kind of like, I'm going to say a part of it, but it follows the same trends as a Bitcoin.
So because you trade against the Bitcoin. You don't trade against US dollar value. And you can trade against US dollar value, but then you might lose on the Satoshi that you invested. So you could invest one Bitcoin into Neo and go up in US dollar value, but lose in Bitcoin value.
Right.
So that, at the end of the day, if you would have just held your one Bitcoin, and then potentially what later got into Neo at a lower Satoshi value, even though it was a higher US dollar value, you'd be making money. Or you'd be...
You can tell you've done your research.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like trading.
See me,
it's kind of switching the whole thought process of investing.
Yeah.
Everybody's so used to buying everything, it's
US dollar
one stock versus US dollar. Now it's
and like
it's just saying different versus Bitcoin.
I feel like I've never seen so
Versus
many
Bitcoin.
people make so much money at one time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It seemed like for a while in the past like couple months, everyone's been making money.
But
Curse those Facebook twins that own like all of it.
I know, right? They're killing it.
Yeah.
But well, it's like this because normally when you get into something like IPOs, I was explaining this to somebody the other day. You get into IPOs, you know, they're not available to you. They're not available to you. Like like you usually have to be a accredited investor, which means you have to. It's like it's something like you have to have like over $1 million or you have
$250K for X amount of time.
Yeah, exactly for 5 years, and I can't do it yet, but
you'll be there.
one day.
Right.
Well, just you got to hold on to what $250K liquid
I think
for
that's
5 years.
what somebody was telling me.
So you can't even invest that or move it around anywhere, right?
Yeah, which is weird to me.
So
Like
you can't grow. It's basically like make $250K, hold for 5 years.
that's what somebody was telling me, but like I don't
Could
know.
be wrong,
Yeah,
but-
exactly.
yeah,
So. Because I know we talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, a little bit last night.
One day we'll all have our own IPO job.
Yeah, right.
So what's happening is the people who normally make all the fucking money, like, you know, they're not in it because, you know, we got in it before, and like normally they make all the money because they invest in the IPO and it's not available to us. So now Bitcoin, like, you know, these Wall Street people, I'm telling you, they're pissed. Like, these FUD articles you see in the New York Times, it's what they are. We call them FUD. Like, it's bullshit. Like, Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan, like, CEO comes
Why,
out.
because it's taking money away from them?
Well, yeah, because they're pissed because they didn't get in first.
Right.
You know,
of course. That's how that whole...
Yeah.
All these tech guys got in. And honestly, these tech guys, I love them to death, but, and like, I'm like a half tech guy, half investor.
Right.
But a lot of them, you know, and bless their souls, because like they never looked at it as like this. Oh, I'm gonna get fucking rich, you know.
Yeah,
Like, it's just the technology. It's blockchain, you know, blockchain technology. And
right.
really,
Tech people get excited when technology comes out, so they are automatically engaged in it.
So they're sending fucking 10,000 Bitcoin, 40,000 Bitcoin. Oh, I lost 2,000 Bitcoin.
Whatever.
Oh, it doesn't matter. They're like, oh, whatever. And
Right.
yeah.
All these old dudes on Wall Street are like, what the fuck, man?
I feel like a lot of people are so against Bitcoin too.
Yeah.
Like I talked to some random guy. He's talking about how he's a stock trader, and randomly brings
Right.
up Bitcoin. I wasn't even like into the conversation. He just
Right.
starts ranting and going on. He's like, "Fuck Bitcoin! It's not like stocks. You're trading Bitcoin. You're stupid."
Right,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't do it, man. But like,
You
I'll
go.
listen to your rant. Like, go.
Exactly. And you can kind of see, you know, if you're looking at
They do rant.
the
rant.
the investing companies, like there are some that are starting to get into
Yeah,
trading Bitcoin.
Fidelity
Yeah.
actually
Fidelity
is
is
starting
one
to
of
give an
them,
option.
It's one of those things where it's hard to tell whether if you
JP
should get in
Morgan's
or
starting a
not.
whole division.
Right.
If you get in now, you could be too late or you could be too early.
Exactly.
You never know in like 10 years what's going to happen.
Right.
So like you can invest so much money in it
I
right
think
now.
once,
Nothing.
you know, once all
Max
these
your credit
major-
cards.
Yeah.
Mortgage your house.
Put the mortgage up.
Exactly. You know, thinking like once these large companies like the JP Morgan and stuff start getting into it, it's going to make it more of like a socially acceptable thing. Where right now it's kind of going against the grain, but once everybody, all these big companies start getting on board, they're going to
exactly.
see that the
Yeah.
people are going to be like, wow, you know, okay,
that-
this is trusted and backed by a
And
big company like
that's
JP
where
Morgan.
like you're gonna see, like, that's why we're still at an early adopter
Right.
phase.
And people look like, wow, 10 grand, so much money, but you got to look in the future, man, right?
Dude,
It's going to grow.
There's so much money gonna pour in because there's so much money sitting on the sidelines waiting for these regulations to come in, waiting
Right.
for this acceptance from the government. And yes, they're already accepting it. They're putting the taxes on it. There's a so-called China ban, but really China's just banning it until they can control it.
Right.
Yeah.
And they want to control the money flow.
Until
and
they
the
can make money
flow
off
out.
it.
Exactly. Everything's a
Until
business.
they figure out a way
right.
they can make money off it, it's banned.
Right.
And
I thought that what the China was going to drop, like when they banned it, I thought that was going to affect it, but it really didn't.
No, it did. My
Did it?
portfolio went down. My portfolio went down 1/3, or went down. So it went down to 33% of what it was.
Really.
And it hasn't
at the
recovered
China
yet?
event. No. I mean, I'm from that point.
That's
like,
why you diversify.
Yeah, from that. Yeah. Well, no, I diversify. Yeah, I mean, diversifying is big, but don't get into that many shit coins. 'Cause that's what happens to a lot of people. Is
Like
Shitcoins is no money, no big time money in the shitcoins.
And don't invest at the peak. Like
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
We were just talking about it. It's like I only have $200
My bad.
in a shitcoin right now, but it was TRX. I went in because my buddy said, "Oh, buy it. It's gonna go to 50 cents."
No.
And he's probably listening now. Like, but I'm gonna call him out. But I bought it. It dropped down to like 5
There's
cents.
bad advice.
He dropped out. Didn't tell me he dropped out. He's like, "Oh yeah, I've been out of that." I'm like, "Thanks for telling me, man." I'm
You-
at like
you and
5
I were the only
cents now. Like, thanks for telling me. Like,
Right?
I would have dropped out too.
The whole
But, like,
market was
whatever.
you
It's
and him,
$200.
and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No, it was it's an interesting market.
yeah,
That's cool.
it's different, and I feel like I want to learn it, but at the same time, I'm so like invested into one niche market. I need to just like focus on
Right.
that. I can't get distracted.
Right.
But like,
That's good. You're
I tried
sticking with
stocks,
that, you know?
and
Yeah, I mean,
failed.
there's so much money to be made, but honestly, for my suggestion for people who don't want to pay that much attention, put it in Bitcoin.
Right.
You know,
just let it sit, right?
Just let it sit. If-
Bitcoin's like the Johnson and Johnson stock. You know, it's never going to
Yeah,
go down. It's not
exactly.
going to go up as much, but it's reliable. You know, it's going to be there.
Exactly, and at the end of the day, when because there will be a crash. We will hit, a 7 trillion, and maybe we'll get a 50% pullback, or 60%, which is a natural correction a lot of times, because then we'll go higher than 7 trillion
Right.
eventually. But that's pulling $3.5 trillion off the market. So
Right.
you're gonna see people jump off buildings. It's terrible. But they're gonna lose all their.
When everything crashed, it's kind of
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Everything has a bubble, and when it pops, it's going to go down and correct itself. And fix
Exactly.
it.
I'm afraid to get into stuff like that.
But
Yeah.
that's why you get into Bitcoin, because when that bubble pops, everything might crash, and you're gonna see 90% of the field of cryptocurrency. The same thing that happened in the .com bubble. You're gonna see them instead of hitting that 70% support level, which is a Fibonacci retracement.
You said Fibonacci?
Yeah, Fibonacci retracement. They do the Elliott wave theory, and they've corresponded it to the Fibonacci sequence, and
Yeah,
and it
I've heard
predicts.
of it, stocks.
Yeah, it predicts the market.
Yeah.
And so, but you're gonna see stuff hit that 60. I think it's 68.1, or I don't know. But and then instead of bouncing off that support level and going back up, you're just gonna see them
Right.
break right through and go down to zero, and that's what's gonna kill people. But that's why you just get in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Bitcoin, Ethereum. But I don't like. Ethereum's good, but it has an inflation, or it's inflationary. They actually produce more Ethereum every year, where Bitcoin's deflationary. They don't.
Right.
They're producing more now, but when it gets to the peak, that's it.
Right. Because there's a finite number of Bitcoin, right?
Exactly.
Compared to Ethereum, where they can just keep making more and more and more and
They
more.
can't make more in the sense that they're gonna just magically make
Could
more.
they split it?
But they can do forks, but they have a pre-planned way
Okay.
to make more.
Right,
So
right.
they can't just 100 million more Ethereums.
Yeah.
They can't do that, but they do. I think it's something like 16% inflationary rate every year,
Right.
which is
You got to create
insane.
some supply, though, right?
Yeah,
So it can't
that's
be
why I'm in
infinite.
Neo, because Neo.
Is Neo short for something, or is that actually what it's called?
No,
Neo.
it's
N-E-O?
Yeah, like the movie. Or
Okay.
like the guy
the guy
from
in the movie. All right,
Matrix.
cool.
I remember when I went from Coinbase to Binance to transfer, I transferred through Ethereum because someone
It's
told me that would be faster.
Yeah.
But when I did that, it was still a day and a half. So I couldn't imagine what if it was Bitcoin. What it would be.
Litecoin's actually faster than Ethereum, and I would use Litecoin to do transfers.
Yeah.
Because Bitcoin they do 7. It's like 7 transactions a second or something, which is nothing, and Ethereum does 15, which is still nothing. When they do find,
But then when everyone found out that that's the way to go, it still backlogs it even more.
exactly.
So,
And so that's a huge problem with Ethereum, but they're solving it. They're creating something called the Byzantine. I don't know what it's called, but basically they're just going to go to proof of stake, which is instead of proof of work, which proof of work is mining, and proof of stake is you can stake a node and run a node on the network. Hey, but one thing I do want to talk about is why blockchain is so important.
Yeah, go into that, because honestly, I hear blockchain a lot, and I know there's a CEO of blockchain who I just saw something news about.
CEO.
So what
blockchain? There's a
exactly-
CEO of
Maybe
blockchain?
there's some other company that's kind of similar to that name, and I'm getting confused. But what is the blockchain? What is that?
The blockchain is blockchain is basically you got blocks, and every block gets a layer, and it's like a layer of all the information. But what's important about it is that every block, and then all the information gets spread out to all the nodes, and it's basically creates this trustless brain almost, and which basically makes it basically impossible to hack, because you have to hack 50% of the system, and in order to like change information on the blockchain. But basically what this is doing is it's like, what's so important about it is that it's open source, and people can see what's going on the back end. And why that's important, because it creates this trustless fabric where the third party, where like we have these trusted third parties implemented into our society. We don't need them anymore. So they're trusted, but how much do you really trust the banks?
Yeah. How
much do you trust these people with your money? How much do you they're putting out this information. They're putting out Augur puts out it's a prediction market, but normally their prediction markets are through like central servers, and they hide it all. So it's kind of like on the back end, like, all right, like we'll give you this information, but they could potentially give other people better information, like
it's always getting updated and getting made better.
Yeah, exactly. So
that adds to the trust for sure.
Somebody who pays more money on the old way can potentially have a better avenue, like in terms of it. But now that it's all open source, it's like it's huge.
Right. Anybody can go out and get this information.
Exactly.
Where do you go for information like that?
Google.
Like if any listener wanted to find out like
Google.com.
blockchain. Yeah, right. Google anything.
Well, a lot of the codes written are found on GitHub.
Okay. Cool.
And you can just find the codes, like and certain that's what makes it a really good cryptocurrency, is that you can find the open source codes, and you can see the algorithms and
exactly, and you can like analyze it, make sure it's safe and right, and that adds to the trustworthiness and the credibility.
Exactly. You're not getting like screwed or like
exactly. You can actually look into the process,
and that's what's amazing. That's I think that's why like people get involved and they invest because the hype train,
right?
But at the end of the day, they stay because they realize that the potential for this technology to revolutionize the world, it's completely, so it's going to completely dismantle the institutions that, affect our daily lives on the regular basis. So it has the potential, it not only does it has the potential, but it will change the way we think. Because we're not stuck in this institutional mentality of like
cash for goods,
and like credit and and stuff like that that we don't need necessarily anymore.
That's 2018. We can everything's
exactly.
online.
So you see it replacing
more than that.
You see it replacing cash. I hear a lot of people saying it's replacing cash. I personally don't, because I
don't know.
It's
like
nice having
50, 100 years down the road.
I could just give you like $5 right now.
It could.
When technology.
I'm trying to hand my 0.0005 Bitcoin down to my great grandkids. Have it be worth $500,000.
No, seriously.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Like I'm setting aside. Trying to set aside 1 Bitcoin for every one of my kids.
Nice.
They'll be freaking rich as hell.
Exactly.
Like, why not?
How many kids are you gonna have?
I don't know.
30 kids.
Depends on how much money I get.
Right, depends how many Bitcoins I have.
I can only afford 3 Bitcoins. I'm only having 3 kids.
Exactly.
That's cool. So other than investing in the cryptocurrency,
you ever think about going the farm? You ever think about we talk about getting a farm, right?
Farm.
You ever think about doing stuff like that?
Yeah, no, we were actually talking about putting together a group. It's like we got to get cheap electricity, and we're
a mining farm.
I've heard of
cool, very cool.
Which are profitable 3 to 4 months, or 3 to 6 months. You can usually get your money back.
So I've heard of people moving down to areas that are built with an infrastructure that has cheaper electronics. I forget the area, but it was for some project back in World War II. They had way too much power for that town now, and their electric's probably like a tenth of the cost from this area.
Oh wow.
Huh, what an interesting fact.
I'll find out where I found it. But
all right, we're all moving to random South Africa.
But someone at work was telling me yesterday.
I believe that.
And they were saying basically like a lot of companies are moving to that town to build the farms for it, because electricity is like 2 cents a kilowatt down there. I'll find out.
Electricity is actually pretty cheap here.
It's cheaper than here.
No, yeah, I'm down for cheaper.
Yeah.
Apparently
the town was built for.
Is that like here in Buffalo, like cheap?
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah.
I'll find out the name, but apparently the town was built up and like they needed a lot of electricity for what they were doing in World War II. And now they don't need the electricity. Yeah, they still have the infrastructure.
We were like, we want to get into a town like that, and then work out a deal with the people there.
Yeah.
But our actually biggest problem is getting these GPUs.
What's a GPU?
They like the computer graphics card, right?
Okay.
Oh yeah. Because now the processors you can link together. Because like and you can make super computers.
Yeah.
So like at work we have for one of our machines we have
videos.
They have like I don't know, like 5 video cards connected on one computer. That thing is probably so powerful.
Right, I know.
They could be mining Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I know, what the hell, dude? Go.
I should hack in it. Everyone leaves, like start mining Bitcoin.
Hey, man, I know you guys are closed. Everybody leaves by 6 o'clock. From 6 to whenever you guys start, I'm gonna mine Bitcoin.
Yeah. I know how I can make this company money.
Right, exactly.
That's what kids used to do. Like, so I know this kid. He ran. I'm not gonna go into too many details.
Yeah, you don't want to get into too much trouble.
Legalities of this. But I know this kid. He used to turn the computers at his school into mining Litecoin. And he was making like
he's in the UB computer lab. He has everything
like 30 computers
together.
and he has them all connected through Ethernet.
And I don't know how many he was making, but it was something like.
That's crazy.
It might have been like 100 a day or something. Like,
what, $100 a day?
Litecoin.
I wonder if he got a nice lawsuit on his door.
No,
he never got caught.
The school's like,
but he didn't. It's not like he's a millionaire off it. He just ended up selling them all right away. Like if he would have just held on to them.
Right, it's at like 150 right now.
Yeah, we'd be a freaking.
I own some Litecoin. That was my other one. I own Litecoin and Bitcoin. That's it.
Dude, my one friend was telling me he had 100,000 Ethereum at one point.
100,000.
100,000.
Wow.
They're at $1,000 now. That's like what, $100 million?
Right.
I'm guessing
it's either 100 million or $1 billion. Like
he's kicking himself in the ass.
So if you had $1 million of cryptocurrency, would you sell it or hold it?
That's a good question.
You'd hodl.
Hold on for dear life.
I love
That's my new favorite saying.
You have to put that on a hoodie.
I was gonna say you have to get a shirt made up for that. Hodl.
They do. Yeah, there's actually at the Bitcoin conference. This one guy, the first night there was this like pre-party. Mm-hmm. He had a shirt on that says "hodl." He was going "hodl" all drunk.
Get a hat. Yeah. Lids.
That's
we were talking about the last podcast.
I actually want to start a company, like a clothing company called, and it just says "shill." And everything says "shill" because that's like the big word in cryptocurrency.
What is it?
Shill.
What is that? What does it mean? Shill. SHIL?
Yeah. It's like I'm shilling you something. Like you buy this, buy. Like
it's a term. It's not an acronym.
I don't know what that is.
Like an acronym is like
hodl. Hold on.
Hodl is an acronym.
Oh, okay, yeah. No.
Shill.
It's a term.
It's a term. Shill. Okay, cool.
Shill. We're shilling, bro.
We're shilling straight.
We're shilling.
You're shilling your show. Like, watch my show. You know?
Yeah. All right, cool. I love this.
Subscribe,
this is like
motherfuckers.
some whole different like language, industry, types of people. The whole crypto industry.
I love it because I don't know anything.
There's
about
a lot of cool
to be
people.
honest, I was kind of nervous this podcast because like I didn't know anything about Bitcoin.
Right.
But, like, I feel like I've learned a lot.
I'm educated now.
I'm still not going to invest. I might put a little.
All in,
wait, I might.
Of it, dude.
But
Sell your
I can't. I got my inventions.
Sell
I
the
had to
dog.
invest in my inventions.
Sell your
The Ponzi scheme continues. Bye.
Chill it.
I need to make more money before I get out.
Right.
But I will put a little bit in Bitcoin.
Right.
I will, but I'm not gonna invest like in casino amount.
That's,
I can't.
that's
I gotta
what
invest in my
learned. Like,
inventions.
if you got money and just chilling,
Nothing to do with it. Throw it in.
Yeah, and you're not going to pay attention to it. Just get in,
Throw
just
some of it
get
in.
Right.
I agree.
Or Neo.
Yeah.
So take out my 401k.
Like I
and
just uploaded some money into Fidelity. Like I might buy some stocks, but it's just been sitting there, because I've
don't buy
been doing
stocks.
research
Stocks
and
are
stuff.
boring.
I'm about to pull it exactly.
I lost so much
Pull it
money
and
on
put it into
stocks.
Bitcoin.
Never again. I'm
See,
done.
my goal is
I'm done.
I mean, it's like everybody talks about it, but the U.S. economy is going up so much. When's it gonna freaking crash?
I feel like it's gonna crash in the next year or two because of student loans.
Yeah, it's definitely pushing there. I think that we might see it after the Trump first year because Trump's gonna want to push it off the economy crash.
I doubt he believes in bitcoins.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't. But actually, I don't know.
So invest in food.
What if on the low he does? He owns all the Bitcoin.
Yeah. He created it.
He created the Bitcoin on The Apprentice.
There is a Trump,
That's a conspiracy.
there is a Trump coin.
There is a
there?
Trump coin?
Yeah.
Shit. How much?
How's it doing? Should we invest in it?
No. It's not doing it. It's like a shit. One of the
It's one of the shit
It's like the shittiest
But
shit
anything
coin?
other than a Bitcoin's a shitcoin, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Alright,
So it's just, it's not like it really doesn't do anything. Like you're not investing in a technology. You're not
Yeah.
Right, okay. It's just kind of like the
a lot of
idea
them,
people
like-
put together.
Yeah, exactly. That's like your Bitcoin, and then so there's like the commodity coins like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero. Monero's a privacy coin. And then there's your platform coins like Neo, Ethereum, NEM.
Right. And those are like, you said platform, those are like companies, so to say, where they have like a process and people working behind it.
It's not really like a company. It's like, they're hard to explain, but
It's like those hacker groups.
It's more like a
It's just
technology.
group. Okay, cool.
Yeah, like,
Somebody did create it though, right?
yeah, exactly. Like they created it more for a purpose. Like Ethereum, like they do something called smart contracts, which basically is like say you have solar panels on your house.
Right.
And I want to buy that power, and you can create a localized grid, and then you can sign something to something called a smart contract, which is considered wet code.
Okay.
So there's dry code and wet code. Dry code is if you're a lawyer, and that's like you sign the contracts on paper. Wet code is a contract over the internet, and now legally binding, these contracts are hard to like be legally binding. But they're working on it. Like, they're working on taking, facial recognition software and allowing that to sign your wet code contract.
Right. Okay, cool.
But a smart contract is, so basically you have all this power, you use it for your house, but you have extra power left over.
Right.
You want to
sell it back to the company.
Well,
create a
you don't
local
sell it to
grid.
the company, you sell it to me. And I buy it at whatever we agree on, and we sign the smart contract. The smart contract locks away my money, and it basically says you agree to pay me this amount of power, but now say you don't give me that much power, that the smart contract automatically initiates so that I don't give you all that money.
Okay, so it kind of like adjusts depending on the demand.
Exactly. But now it's all open source blockchain. Like you can both see it. There's no like behind the scenes like third party making sure,
which is good though now because it's transparent to the buyer and the seller.
Exactly. That's what's important, and then you're skipping the third party costs.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Because you don't need somebody to monitor and make sure that this is going on, and then it really saves legal battles at the end of the day too, because he didn't provide me enough power, then we have to go to court and all this crap.
Right. This just automatically is like adjusting all the time. So, that's really cool. I can see that being very
useful.
very efficient, easy.
That's one example. There's going to be millions of use cases for it.
So, I like that.
What else I know you have, 2 companies?
What else are you working on?
In the crypto sphere, I'm working on a crypto conference called the CoInvention.
Cool.
Yeah, where is that going to be?
Philadelphia.
Once a year?
Yes, we're looking to branch it probably out more after the first year, maybe to Buffalo.
Cool.
And try to get like-minded people in a collaborative space, right?
Yeah, exactly. Shake hands.
Yeah. Nice. You use the term "we" a lot. Do you have a partner? You have a team?
I do have a lot of partners in a lot of things. I run another company called We Present, And so I like to popularize the term "we" too, though.
It's good.
Yeah, because
we use a good term to use.
Yeah, exactly.
We is right. It's a backing.
Yeah.
a following.
It's just like a non.
Exactly.
It's non-selfish too.
Right.
Exactly.
For all you young
Non-bragging.
entrepreneurs around, use the term "we" more often.
Yeah, I've noticed
Yeah, it's
sometimes
'cause-
use the term "I," but it's like easier to describe yourself.
Right,
I.
exactly.
Sometimes you don't do it on purpose, but we's always like more. Of a
We's good,
courteous-
right? It's like now there's a
courte-
group of people doing this, you know,
Yeah,
and there might be
exactly.
a lot of people like
I
in a
mean,
team.
there always is more than
Right.
like there's not just
Yeah, with
Like,
anything, even if it's your company, you still have people that are
Right.
Exactly.
That's
As
a
an
we.
entrepreneur, as an inventor, there's always people you rely on.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're an inventor. I mean, there's always people that are moving parts in your thing, and that's
Right.
probably the one thing I've learned through running my companies is that, like, you know, in the beginning, I didn't really outsource. I didn't really like give tasks too much. Like, 'cause I
Right.
like to
try to do it all yourself.
Yeah, and you
That's
want to do it.
That's
you know-
literally the number one thing about entrepreneurs. We all try to do it. I use the we. We all try to do it on our own. We're like,
Yeah,
all right, I'm
exactly.
gonna own this and do this, but really, you got to rely on people's
And I
strength.
think there's
Exactly.
two main reasons people do that. One is to save money, but two is because you don't trust other people with your product.
Right.
So you want to make sure that it gets done the way you want it done. But
Exactly.
sometimes that distracts you from doing what you have to do.
Right.
And that's like the biggest thing I
Right,
personally
yeah.
struggle with. And like I can't. I hate giving other work to other people.
Right.
Like I tried hiring
Right.
someone for a 3D printing company. I'll never
It's
never
just
train
hard,
them to do
yeah.
the work I do.
Exactly.
You're not
right.
gonna get the
you
quality.
don't
out of
know
it.
them the same, you know, and that's why bringing on partners in the beginning is like such an important thing, and it's hard to do because
And build up together.
it can really like tank or make
Yeah.
your business. You know, you can have a partner
Exactly. And then you're
that
stuck with all these situations. That's why you
Exactly.
need really good contracts.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you need to be like that's kind of what I'm going into now is
like scope of work of who does what and what
Yeah,
they're
we-
responsible for.
it's like, and it's a lot to divulge in. Like you gotta like
Mm-hmm.
figure out how the company is gonna be done. What if somebody disappears halfway through? Are they gonna?
It's
And
a
stops
lot
doing
more
work.
planning
Yeah.
and
Are they gonna
thinking than
continue
people
owning that
think.
for
Unless you
some- yeah,
really,
Right.
unless you really trust a person, like
Yeah.
like me, Oscar and I don't have to worry about that because
Perfect.
my partner Oscar. We haven't met him, but you know,
Right, you guys
we're
are
in
doing a lot of ventures together, so
we're
you
in
probably have that whole crowd.
everything together because it'd be a conflict of interest if I do something without him,
Right.
and vice versa. So
Right.
we just stay together on everything, and even if I do
Right.
something without him, I include him down the middle.
That's
It's just
good.
the right thing to do.
That's good. Yeah, I've had
But yeah,
I've
the
had a
trust.
lot of
Right.
problems with
If you get a good
partners.
person, keep him by your side. You know.
Exactly. He's like the only person I will do business with like 100%.
Right.
Like no offense to
Everything.
you, but like it's just with
Yeah.
him, I've known him for so long. We've been through
Yeah.
enough things where I know like he would never stab me in the back. I would never stab him in the back. He's
Right.
like the type of person if I won
How long have you
lotto,
guys been doing business together?
6
Yeah,
years,
I was thinking,
five,
right.
6 years.
You built
like
yeah, right.
we've started from
Long
nothing
time.
and we've worked our way up to where we are now, and we've been through the process together. So
Right.
you know, we split the tasks up. We've both learned skills.
Yep. You both
and
have your
split
strengths,
the
you both
skills
have your weaknesses, and you play to each other very well.
Exactly.
That's what a good partner is, you know, and
So
your
it's
team's
like-
probably the same way. You know, you have things that you do really well. I know, like, I'm the same way. So with Tiki, I like, trust me, it's my baby. I like to do everything, you know,
Yeah.
but I'm just
Yeah,
not that
it's a
good at some
lot.
things. And you have to realize as an entrepreneur, like, okay, maybe I'm not as knowledgeable or as good in something as I want to be,
Yeah.
you know, so let me just play to my strengths.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll
It's
see,
a-
like, I'll have other like businesses, and we'll bring other people on with us. But
Right.
like, it's always me and him at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So-
It's a lot to like really trust anybody.
Yeah,
and
because
bring them
people
on
like
and-
when it comes to money, people are fucked. Like
Yeah,
they're fucked up.
oh, they
Like,
are.
I'm a down the middle type of guy. If we're in something together, split it right down the
I've
fucking
been
middle.
screwed
Right.
more times than I.
Yeah,
can
me
count.
too.
And
It's like you rely on people to be like do the right thing. You know what? At the end of the day, it just screws you unless you get the right stuff in
Right.
mind.
That's all part of the
Gotta
journey, though. You know,
cover
you
your
live and you
ground.
learn. It's,
Yeah.
as much of a pain in the ass.
That's
as
why
it
you
is.
get into you sign good contracts. That's kind of
Yeah.
like I'm trying to sit down with my uncle, and he needs to like he's funny though. He's when he talks about it, he's like, "Don't do that, don't do that." Like, cause he's like,
In a good way or a bad way,
I mean, like
or messing with you.
no. He's just like he just doesn't trust any. I mean,
Yeah.
That's how my mom is. She's like, "Why are you doing that? Don't do that. Just don't do it. Don't do it." It's like, "Shut up, mom."
Right, I don't need that negativity talking in my ear.
Go
Get
get
out
me
of
the
here.
meatloaf, mom.
Mom, meatloaf now. Get it.
What's that from again? What movie was that? It's something with Will Ferrell.
Wedding Crashers.
Was it Wedding Crashers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell's like the funeral crasher.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well, you think you do good at weddings?
You try funerals.
Funerals are where it's at.
I'd be pissed. Oh, that's awesome.
Messed up.
I
Yeah.
like willing to try. No, I'm just kidding.
You never know, man.
So, is there anything, Alex, that you're trying to send out to the fans here? Anything you want to promote, information you want to give out to our listeners?
Yeah, like you do.
Now that all of our
consulting
beers are done, what do we?
I'm
doing?
thinking about getting into consulting, but like I said, my businesses are kind of like I'm probably just gonna start a consulting firm, and if people are willing to pay me a big amount of money to come do it,
Right.
I'm down.
Hey, you can go on Craigslist, consultant, and you can transfer Bitcoin. There you go.
Yeah, I do that. I do it all.
Yeah, we take Bitcoin.
Right, and we take Bitcoin.
Oh, 100%.
You can pay us in Bitcoin for Bitcoin consulting.
I'd rather get paid in Bitcoin because it's gonna go up.
Right, exactly. Where if somebody hands you $1, it's just $1.
Just $1.
If somebody hands you 0.0002 Bitcoin, it's about to be something.
Yeah, it could be $2 eventually.
Right, exactly.
That's awesome.
But
So
that, and I got we're doing the Backyard Crypto website, which is gonna be cool. That's in beta. I don't want to. I told you guys.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can't
wanna
talk about it, I
But
understand.
that's one of my most. That and the cryptocurrency convention are super exciting projects right now.
They sound cool.
what's the We Present? We didn't really elaborate on that. Is
Oh
that
yeah,
something
we
you could talk
present
about?
like it's so that's my first baby, honestly. Like
baby.
Yeah, that's
The baby, that's the
it.
biggest one.
Yep.
It is. It's like your.
You never want to give up on it, but you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
You have better things going on, but you never want to give up on it.
It's almost like at this point, it's like my hobby.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I'm going through the same thing, right?
And it's because like you get into the promotional sphere and production of events, and you come to realize that there's not that much money in it.
Because a lot of people can do it.
Yeah, and everybody like there's like everybody thinks you're making so much money, which is the worst. But it's really like, especially my events, because we have so many moving parts. So there's so many people that need to get paid.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that, because I do kind of like 1-day festival style events. So I have workshops, I have live painters, I have a media team, I have fire spinners, I have 2 stages of music. We actually build a community garden the day before. We have the volunteers. And it takes a lot to pay all those people out. Now,
Right.
What types of events are these? Music?
music.
Any big ones that people would know about?
I do this one in Philadelphia called Ode to Earth.
Okay.
We did about 950 people last year, 900 people.
Sweet.
Yeah, that was really cool. We had Ott. We actually had Chris Dyer the year before, Yeti, Russ Liquid. Ott's pretty big. They're more like bass music. Like
Yeah.
we do jam bands too.
Jam bands are cool.
But yeah, like we present too. We concentrate on events that like give this positive lessons or positive attitude
Nice.
to the
There's
teacher.
too much negativity in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's
Right.
funny because like I went to when we were at that place last night. There was a fight that broke out, and everyone. Were you there for that? Everyone was just so chill about it. It's like, hey man, just call the cops. Like we're just not trying to have these bad vibes here. I want to make sure everyone's
Trying to
cool and
take these
okay.
guys outta here.
It wasn't like,
At
yo,
Nietzsche's,
there's a
of course.
fight. It was more like, yo, please get him out of here. I don't want anyone getting hurt. We're just hanging out, man. Listen to the band.
That's great.
With the hippies, yeah.
Yeah, the hippies
They're
are cool.
funny.
It's a
My
good
type of
crowd.
people.
They're funny. They're like, yeah, like love and peace. And
Yeah,
no fighting.
there's no
But then
anger.
they'll steal from you.
Oh really?
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh,
Oh,
the
they-
Wooks, man, I love them to death. But
Lock up your shit.
oh god, don't trust them with your shit.
You don't have to worry about getting into a fight with them, but you have to worry about getting your stuff stolen.
Yeah.
They'll sleep on your couch for a while. I mean, it's not granted.
Not all them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm generalizing, but they're funny.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah.
But it's a good crowd. Like
Yeah,
last
yeah.
night, that was a good band, just hanging out,
Yeah,
relaxing.
Sky Pilot and Haywa. I missed Haywa though.
Yeah, I missed it
I
too.
didn't even know who the third band was.
I don't know either, but it was good.
Okay.
I like the jam band. It's like very relaxing.
Yeah, me too. It's a good little scene.
Yeah, cool.
They like the music for events. I also do an Empress Rising show.
All right.
That's all like 90% women.
Nice.
That's cool.
Versus?
That's cool. That's a good
I'm just
market.
kidding.
Yeah,
just
You can't get in. Now you can be that 10% needs to be on a VIP list.
Why is it 90% women? Like,
because all the other events are 90% men. Or
Right.
100% men.
So you guys purposely target them.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't
Nice.
eliminate the men from
Right.
it, but
Yeah.
we do like 90% women.
That's cool.
why do you regulate that, or is that just ends up being
Yeah,
the
I mean, I
numbers?
book the event, so
Okay.
Right.
like I book all the artists, like and
Oh, you mean 90% woman artist?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
okay.
we don't.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant like crowd. I was like, holy crap! How do you control a crowd? Like 90% women on a crowd.
I mean, I do 90% women crowd.
Yeah, I control the ticket sales. If you're a male, it's $300. If you're a female, it's $10.
Right.
The men pay.
Honestly, they probably would.
Yeah, we're throwing an event. We're calling it Disco Love. It's with I think we're didn't sign the contracts yet, but
so maybe you shouldn't
Orchard
say.
Lounge. I think I don't care. I think we're pretty much like we said agreed in the emails, but Orchard Lounge is gonna be February 24th in New York City at the Museum of Scagz.
Wow.
But not.
I've seen pictures.
Yeah, not the full venue. I actually did do event.
Yeah.
It was the first event I ever launched. We did it at the Museum of Scagz, and we had
Cool.
900 people, and we did all 4 floors. Like you could like
That's sick.
go and bounce on titties and like
Not real titties.
No.
Fake titties in the Museum of Sex.
You basically do this all as a hobby, though, so you don't make too much off it.
At this point, yeah. Like,
But you have the connections. But you know what? Though,
Yeah,
is something that could
exactly.
help you for like your Bitcoin conference.
yeah. So we're doing
Exactly.
Maybe
You're
doing
using
it
that
after
skill
event.
and relating it to your Bitcoin conference.
Exactly. And
So-
that's kind of where it's at. And
That's cool, man.
And from everything I learned from that, I'm taking it over to the conference. And the conference, dude, that's where the money's at right now, man. If I went to
You
this-
make money off the if you held a conference, you'd make a lot of money. You think?
Oh yeah. I mean, well, we won't. I won't be rich.
Except
by no
Bitcoin.
means.
Just only you can only buy tickets in Bitcoin.
I would.
Everybody needs to come in, plug in their phone.
Yeah, like
Hard transfer.
we take Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Yeah, we might have to wait a couple months to get out, but no. But yeah, no. I think the conference will do really well. I mean, it's
That's
not
cool.
gonna make me rich, but
And that's
think,
gonna you say that's gonna be Philly?
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
about more for me. It's about like helping build the community.
And
Right, I
also
agree.
your personal brand too, because then people know what you're about.
Yeah, exactly. It gives me a little bit of credibility.
I'm all about the
Right,
personal
in
brand. Man.
any
Yeah.
any
All
venture
about
that
it.
you're in, you know.
I like shaking hands.
Right.
That's kind of what
You never know who you're gonna meet.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know.
You're making these lasting connections, and like I said, like this is where the money is at right now. Like this
Right.
is where the technology's at. This is watching this Bitcoin market. You like I said, you get into it, and you like first for the money, and second you realize, wow, this is like gonna be something, and this
Right.
is gonna revolutionize everything. And,
Yep.
It's
a greater idea than just making money. You know, it's the future.
And so, you want to be a part of it. And, we're lucky we're talking about this now, and we're lucky we're watching it because there's a lot of the population that's not watching what's going on, and they won't
Right.
be able to tell.
They don't even know.
We're sitting there investing in the beginning.
It's crazy,
Right.
man. The way like technology's going. Like,
I know.
It's like moving so fast. You never know what to invest in.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, I was talking with someone today. Like metal 3D printers, right? You know I'm in 3D
Oh,
printing.
that's cool. Yeah.
So metal 3D printers, if you bought one a few years ago or a couple years ago, you're spending $600,000 for that same
There's
machine.
a 3D printer that
3D
prints
printer
metal.
that prints metal parts. You can get a machine today for $125,000 that does a better job 3 or 4 years later.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Just
if
in a
you
couple of
invested
years, and
$600,000
it's lower,
a
right.
couple years ago,
Right.
you could have got something better now for cheaper, and you're still paying off your $600,000 machine.
Right.
So like you never know when is the right point to invest in stuff,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm like having such difficulty trying
Now.
to figure out.
Right
because
now.
I could put a fucking mortgage on a metal 3D printer and make money off it, but like
Right.
if I wait a year or two, I might be able
It
to
could
get
be
that same
$100.
printer for $60,000.
Right. It'd be nothing. It'd be so
Yeah.
cheap.
It is a huge.
It's
a
crazy,
huge question
man.
in society. Like, we can keep upgrading everything we live in, or do we wait 10 years
Until it's cheap enough,
Right.
but then
Cheap
sometimes
enough.
it's
the
too
new,
late.
The new PlayStation comes
It's
out.
too late because like then you can use the money you made off it and invest
Yeah,
that to get the
yeah.
cheaper stuff later.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy.
It is.
It's like the hardest thing I'm trying to learn and figure out. 'Cause I feel like no one knows.
Maybe.
To be
I
honest,
know.
I feel like no
I
one
think
knows.
it's just now.
You never know. It's
Now.
going to be the
Yeah,
future.
right? Now is
It's
just
easy
now.
to.
Sounds perfect.
It's easy to look back and say, "Oh yeah, I should have done that. It was a great idea." But
Be
like,
here now.
Right.
You ever
it's crazy, man.
read the book?
Other than HODL, be here now.
Invest in
Be
Bitcoin.
here now is
Bitcoin.
be here now is a hippie term. That's like I'm pretty sure it's like Joseph Campbell or something.
Yeah, it's live in the now. It's that whole mindset of just
Yeah.
living in the now. I believe it. Why not?
There's a book.
What other last shout outs you trying to give out to our
Where
fan
can people
base here?
find you? That's another thing. Where can people find you, or where can they look at your stuff? You said you have a website coming up soon.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have backyardcrypto.com.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty cool.
Love that name, by the way.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
right?
cool.
It's sweet. It's a sweet name.
It's like backyard baseball. It's like
right,
what,
exactly.
backyard
That's kinda-
Wrestling.
that's
Anything with the
man.
backyard feel is cool. It's just like homey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's
it's like-
actually
It's like the underdogs.
That's
Right.
funny you said that because we're looking at logos right now, and one of our logos we're kind of looking at is like a home.
Where are you
Yeah.
getting your logo from?
We have a guy out in California, actually my partner's brother, who did like 11 iterations. He did a good job. He's working.
How much are you paying? It's just if at a rough number.
All right, for
we're-
anybody that's looking to
$200
get a
or-
logo made from somebody that's not Fiverr.
So
like if like so.
because I've gotten into the battles with logos lately with
In
through people.
general?
I'm with conversation with people. I'm curious how you went about it because like I've done a few things and I know it works for me, but I want to see what worked for you or what's working.
I've branded a lot of stuff, so like usually it depends. Like we did for CoInvention that actually cost us $600,
Wow.
but we had it, which was a lot. I felt like which was a bit of a rush because we wanted it in like 4 days. It was kind of a mistake, but the guy did a great job.
You know what
Yeah.
I recommend?
I love it.
99 Designs. If you need something and you're afraid you have money to spend like $300 or $400,
Yeah.
and if you go on 99 Designs, they bid for the winning thing. So you put what you want, what exactly you're looking for, and then people bid on like their artwork, and then you could say I don't like it because you have to revise this. But if you don't like any of the designs, you can get up to 20 or 30 designs. If you don't like any of them, you can get your money back and then put it in again. So
Oh wow.
And what's
I
that
did
called? 99 Design?
99 Designs. I did it for 2 of my logos. I did it for Wisecrack Pans and Smart Print 3D.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
And then but like you can get coupons too if you look for them. I
Yeah.
think I paid $200 for one of them. And it's cool because you get to like choose what you want, you get what you want. Because I've
Right.
tried the Fiverr route on a few things and I've never had luck.
I hated the Fiverr
then-
route when it came to logo making.
This
I ended up
logo
just
for
doing it
Inventing
myself.
Entrepreneur though, that was Fiverr.
Yeah.
$30 for this logo, and like it's an awesome logo. It's hot. Like
Right,
I like
yeah.
the logo.
Agreed.
So it's hit or miss on Fiverr, but 99 Designs is like I feel like if you need something
We-
consistent in a week, it's good.
Well, oh yeah, that's cool for a week. Our thing too was we didn't just stop at the logo. Like he branded everything for us.
Oh, sweet.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it was a little bit.
It's worth it though because then you get to work to them face to face.
Yeah,
like
like
the designers I
letter-
had, like
letterheads.
it's like whatever.
Right,
one
some
of them.
random dude, you know, some
Yeah.
random guy in some other country.
fonts,
That personal connections.
Oh, that's sick.
designs,
So he did
like-
everything. He
Yeah.
basically just did the whole
So, I mean,
marketing
yeah.
voice of it.
Like
Cool.
it wasn't. But it was. I mean, he did a good job. Actually, I
a fan.
want to talk about that. I really like this logo.
I do too.
So I thought of it.
We'll put it as a podcast photo for
Yeah.
those of you not watching the video right now.
It's a power logo.
Yeah,
like the
right. I
power
noticed that.
symbol.
Right.
And then it's an upside down triangle, and it's because like crypto's flipping
The
the power
Illuminati.
structure
Ah,
upside down.
I
It's
like
the
that. I
Illuminati.
like that. I'm showing that
So
there. Just
you
for
have
the
to send us that
viewers.
logo. We're gonna put it as a
Okay,
podcast
yeah,
logo.
Right.
that's-
And then for anyone listening right now, if you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, we also have a video podcast on YouTube if you like watching videos.
Check us out. We're pretty cute.
So I wouldn't go that far.
Alex, right here. Alex at CoInvention.io. Alex
Yes.
at coinvention.io.
If you want to reach me,
Yeah. Any questions? Hit them
anything
up.
Crypto.
Sounds great.
Anything questions?
But in summation, buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's not too late.
Buy
It's not
Bitcoin.
too
If you
late.
think it's too late, you're joking yourself.
Yeah, you're wrong. Buy the dip. Right now is the dip.
Buy the dip.
Buy into the
Today-
dip.
Buy the dip.
is-
man.
January 27th, 2018. Bitcoin is at how much? Do you know?
I think when I left my house, it was right around 11,000
How often do you check?
every day, like 5 times a day minimum.
Right. I own $200 worth of cryptocurrency. I check it 5 times a day.
Just, yeah, did I go up? Did I go down?
It's just fun.
I have to go through all my holdings.
Did you
like-
ever have a moment where you're like, fuck? And then like a couple hours later, you're like, oh wait, no, I'm good. I'm back up.
Dude, I had a moment where I went down to lower, like I said, lower than 33% of
Yeah,
what
that was when the
I
China
had.
market crashed.
That was tough. Like I
You're
rode
afraid because you don't know if you should get out now or if you should, right?
No, you never get out at the bottom.
Buy
No.
more.
That's
you just
where they
hold,
buy
right?
more
Hold.
at the
You
bottom.
hodl.
Buy
That's why you
more.
hodl.
That's why people lost in the stock market.
exactly.
Stock
You
market
buy
crash.
more. You price it cost average down.
And the stock market crash. That's why people fucked up
Fucking
because they
fucked
sold
up.
everything
Yeah,
when it
exactly.
dropped, and then anyone
Right.
that was smart just bought everything up, and then
Exactly.
they killed it when it recovered.
So that's kind of my plan with my monetary investment advice. If this works for you, you owe me money.
You'll take a 1% commission.
Not
Right.
10%.
He accepts Bitcoin.
Yeah, I accept Bitcoin. No, I'm gonna ride this Bitcoin wave up, and then buy gold and then wait for the U.S. economy to crash.
Right.
Sell the gold at the top. If you look at the charts, you actually could
Yeah.
have done this at the 08 recession. If you would have bought gold, you would have made 3-4x, and then you could have bought into the S&P 500 at the top. You could have sold at the top for gold, bought into the S&P at the bottom, and then rode the S&P up 4 or 5x.
So when the stock market crashes, everyone remember his email address. Hit him up. He'll be your consultant. He'll take a 10% commission.
Buy, don't sell. That's actually my grandpa's wife at the time. She sold, I don't know, her stocks at the bottom. My grandpa's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
I hope I listen to this.
Italian voice.
I hope I listen to this in 10 years and I'm like, holy shit, that kid was right. Like,
I know,
Bitcoin
right?
is insane. It's $1 million a coin right now.
Yeah, honestly.
Should have listened to him. What the fuck was I thinking going the inventing route? I'm still broke.
Right,
Dude,
damn.
if it goes to 1 million a coin, oh my god.
Be nuts, right? Let's hope.
Well, I guess thanks for coming out.
Hey, you're an Eagles fan?
Love them. Let's go Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Oh, no.
Let's do it.
Dude,
Patriots.
I actually lived in
Anyone that likes Gronkowski
Oh
and
my
selling
God.
Gronkowski
Go
footballs,
Philadelphia.
go Patriots.
Oh, word up. So it's been a pleasure, Alex. Hey, thanks for coming
having
on.
me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for
It's
coming
been a
out.
lot of fun sharing your expertise.
Yeah, now
We did it.
buy Bitcoin, motherfuckers.
Money stacking up, talking trash, better back it up. I'ma make my money while they laugh at us.